Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And this is Livestream 2 Reboot. And once again, YIELDMAX ETF Downgrade. That's all I can tell you. It's because I'll give personal reasons, and it has to do with what I talked about a week to 2 weeks ago. And XAU USD auto trading gold bot, another winning day, week, profits. We'll talk about that. And of course, buy assets while the prices are low on the stock market. We went over it on Monday night. We talked about what happens in the month of September traditionally over the last 20 years. So you knew there should be ups and downs, which you can take advantage of. And welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the SSN Nation Financial Friday night live stream. And you know it's story night as well. So you never know what we're going to get into. But first things first, remember last week and maybe the week before when I was saying stop loss for your stocks? Like I told you, 10%, take all my profits. I wasn't about to lose on the stock price. Well, YIELDMAX ETF hit all of them, I believe. I think all of them below my dollar, below my profit point. So I said, I'm not going below, but I think it blew through all of them over the last 2 days. So it automatically sold for me in the profit. And my last, so to speak, dividends could be coming out today or came out today. I got notifications already, which I'm still doing the salsa dance, but now I have consolidated. I feel like Warren Buffett on the YIELDMAX ETF plan. I can now buy back in, or what can I do? Buy in at a lower price, buy more shares, or should I pay attention to blue chip stocks? You know who I'm talking about. The Teslas, the Amazons, the Googles, the Facebooks. You know what I'm saying? So again, let me know what you guys are going to be doing. But the bottom line is buying assets now is necessary. And let's get things straight because we got to start on a Friday night as we should. More people have been laid off. That's right. More people, American citizens or immigrants and American citizens, are getting laid off. That is a problem. So we already have 80% of the population living paycheck to paycheck sometime during the month. That's not a good number. We have more people being laid off. We got the new job reports yesterday. We knew this was going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about it here. I tried to tell you, do not believe the hype out there because tariffs are not good. That means it goes back and forth when there's a tariff war. You have things such as like Norway pulling all their capital investment out of Caterpillar due to our government. Nothing else. Not the tariffs. So we have a combination of the rest of the world looking at us like a rogue nation and not that shining country on the hill like we used to be, and the tariff wars because we've used them against our allies. So they're just like, okay, we can buy from someone else. And that's what's starting to happen. And as I said long ago, this is going to be the path Jobs are not going to be readily available as this mayhem continues. You should be taking advantage, ladies and gentlemen. This little stock market meltdowns that we're going to have over the next week until when? 12 days from now. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to know if the Federal Reserve reduces the interest rate. Again, inflation is higher. It's over 3%. That is not a number for the Federal Reserve to reduce. They're supposed to have increased interest rates, not reduce. But if they reduce it, ladies and gentlemen, if you think there's mayhem now, I'm going to repeat. You better be buying some assets now because they are going to reduce it against their rules. They're nowhere near 2% inflation numbers. PMI, CPI, doesn't matter what numbers you use. We are nowhere near 2. We're not even under 2.7, 2.9 at this point. So that is a problem. But guess what? Those of you who have income, Warren Buffett, have cash to spend on assets when the prices have dipped or have dropped. Now is your time. Crypto, all of it. Gold, silver, all of it. Platinum, palladium, copper, all of it. Because there's going to be a rocket ship ride and I want you on it. Let's get down. Let me see who's going to be in the house tonight. First things first. I always have talked about resolvefinance.com. Well, the family called and said, hey, I'm no longer going to be at Resolve Finance. I'm going to be at moneyladder.com. Okay. The reason why I mention this, in case you are new here, is you have 1 year, 3 months to get your act together. That's right. What's the act we're referring to? Getting assets that pay you, making sure that your credit score can get to 775 or higher. December 2026 is the cutoff. There's a reason. And also bank accounts or real estate or business or something outside of the United States bank account would be preferential. And a business or ways to make money outside the United States, just like a corporation. You're the CEO of your life. Yes, somebody could get this gear, you know where, stopstrugglingnow.com. And also, you will be prepared for whatever happens. All right. So, first things first, credit score needs to get to 775. How do you do that? If you're already having debt problems, then you need to get in touch with Tracy at, hold on, this is totally different. I'm going to have to put this in here because she's using government name now. All right. I'm going to put this in the chat room. If you want your debt consolidated without having to file bankruptcy, without having to be in debt collections, and then on the other side, it does take a year to 2 years, which is right along our timeline, then your credit will be much better in the mid sevens on the other side. So in the chat, I have already dropped it. I've already dropped it. There you go. Okay. Tracy, TRACY .sharpe, SHARPE at moneyladder.com for everybody on the podcast. Again, I will repeat, TRACY, that's Tracy, .sharpe, SHARP as in Paul, E as in Eric, at moneyladder.com. That's where you email her. Let her know you're from the SSN Nation. Let her know your family. Eric said, hey. All right. And she will take care of you. She lives just like the family motto, helping people, trying to help others. That's what we do here in the SSN Nation. Rising tide lifts all of our boats, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to be a billionaire. We don't need to be one of the 25 to 2,700 billionaires on the planet, not trying to raise up everybody. We're trying to be with the people, get everybody rising. That's why you need to be on tap here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. And once again, I gotta say I wasn't here on Wednesday night because due to family matters. EV Place, another investor's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Good evening, everyone. A week ago, I've got a feeling, and I've locked profits from NVDY, PLTY, TSLY, ULTY, CONY left. That's what I'm talking about. We had the feeling, ladies and gentlemen. There's no reason to go down with the ship. Nothing wrong with buying in at 12.50 and it goes up to 13.50. Then it starts dropping back to 13.25, 1300. Explain. You should have that stop loss built in to keep your profits because you can always rebuy again at a lower price. And some people will. I also will. But I'm just letting you guys know. Why sit there with the ship? If it goes lower, why should I go down with it? I'll just buy back in at a lower price, get more shares if I want to get back in. But we'll be talking about that over the next week or so. So, very happy to hear this EV Place. Very happy to see you once again. Locking in prices. Laverne Penix. Mr. Cool is in the house. Another investor is here. Glad to see you're safe and sound. And I know you went over to Spain to chill out and hear all the crazy mayhem going on. And now you're back. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. And he brings his tagline, Hello, SSN Nation. All is well. I hope all is well with everyone. I received a notification. Thank you so much for that, Laverne Penix. Very happy. Say hello to Mrs. as well. Very, very happy. Laverne Penix says he did it again. I hope everyone is doing well. I knew you were saying that. Very, very happy to see you, and we got to hear how it was overseas. All right. U.S. 10-year dropped to 408. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first mayhem piece has started. Tax cut, tax breaks to get money in the hands of, oh my, a record between the Magnificent Seven or the tech stocks. I don't remember which one. Trillions of dollars in profits. Jesus. That's insane when you really, really think about it. But Laverne, EV Place. Hold on, let me get this right now. Google leads monster week for tech, pushing mega caps to combine 21 trillion in market cap. 21 trillion in market cap, ladies and gentlemen. These guys almost have as much money as the United States deficit is 37. These guys are holding 21 trillion by themselves in the market cap. No wonder they can bribe our government officials. Jeez. Okay, so we're going to have a run up after this tax cut, tax break. You have 12 days, ladies and gentlemen, before that decision. Also, here's where the problem comes in. We knew this was happening. The 10-year dropped to 4.08. That means interest rates for homes are going to drop as well. So we're going to have the combo. A drop from the federal rate. The 10-year bond yield is 4.08, closer to 4. That means we shade off at least a half a point to 3/4 of a point. So you might as well just say 0.75 to 1% drop in mortgage rates incoming. Will this spur people to be able to buy more? I don't know. But we're going to find out because you will be able to get a rate reduction. So refinances should start being on the horizon. And some people will be able to buy. Thank you so much for mentioning this. This is exactly what we expected. And those of you who need to restructure your debt without having to file bankruptcy, without it causing you to have debt collections on your credit profile, tracy.sharpe at moneyladder.com. I left it on the screen so everybody can visibly see it who can see on the screen. Trucker Trey, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. Very happy to see you in the house. And he says, yo, the tagline is, what's up, E? How are you? Doing better, man. Everything's doing well. As you know, when things are going well, when they're going as expected, right? As expected is the key word. Whether they're going well or not, if you know what to expect, as expected means you can act. Post-retirement travel, Mr. Worldwide 2 is here in the house. Another investor. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. And he brings his tagline, hello all, let's do this. And on our way to Margaritaville for the weekend in Orlando. Okay, you have no excuse if it's in Orlando. You teased us with those bungalows in Orlando, the pre-construction that apparently they had for 300 grand. I can't hardly find any information. So please use your insider info when you go there this weekend and let us know what the deals are. Because that would be one hell of a purchase, just so everybody understands. But I guess the weekend is now. Right on. Glad to hear this. Thank you so much for being in the house. DIM Pals, another investor, is in the house. And I know he was doing the salsa dance today because he's doing option income trading using YIELDMAX ETF stocks. Oh my. All right. Welcome again to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. And he says the tagline, good evening, everyone. I smashed that like button. I love the One Piece and bought a little bit of Bitcoin today, as you should. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum, a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver. Magnificent Seven stocks, I think, is going to be pretty good. Tech stocks as well. I mean, there's a multitude of opportunities that's going to be out here with the 10-year yield slanting down. And by the way, you know, I heard a prominent businessman, alleged one, bought like $100 million worth of bonds. I don't think he was thinking this through, because that means he bought it 4.25 to 4.35. Bond rates going down is not a good thing for that person. Not if you own like $100 million worth. And also, what I mean by not thinking is, if there's a meltdown, which is kind of what's happening, that means it's even going to go lower. That's not good. It's not the correlation from the Federal Reserve reducing their interest rate. It's actually the bond market. All I can say is, you know, post-retirement travel will do. Thank you so much, man. We all want to know about it. All right. Because on Wednesday night, first of all, okay, the debt consolidation, you guys already know about. tracy.sharpe, SHARPE, at moneyladder.com to restructure your debt without having to file bankruptcy or get on the debt collection. She will help you. It takes 1 to 2 years to get it straight, which falls within our timeline. Even though I got the 1 year, 3 months, it's so you guys will be ahead. That's why I have my timeline always for you guys, so you're ahead of the curve. It's going to take about 2, but it's 1 year, 3 for sure. Pick up all these cheap assets that's coming our way. Now, the other thing, we have people out here that need a lot of help. Matthew Lesko, late night government grant guy that used to do infomercials, probably still does. Go to findhelp.org, put in your zip code. You will find a lot of services from nonprofits. They receive funds from federal and state, and they help people oftentimes for free. This includes caregiving, includes job training, includes transportation, help with down payments, includes a myriad of things. Go look if you need help with anything. Some of these things even include need a little bit of money for car repair. I mean, just depends on your state and what opportunities there are. The other part, if you don't want to go with the findhelp.org and you want to join Matthew Lesko and thousands of people who actually look for grants, then you need to join Lesko Help, Lesko help.com, and just pay $50 or $60, because otherwise it's $20 per month. Be a member and you will see, just simply ask, hey, is there a grant for this in my city? And here's my zip code. And within an hour or two, people will send you something and try to help you out. Unbelievable. It's incredible. So that's how you can also get some help out here while times are hard. Transportation, subway, buses, a bunch of things. So go over there and help yourself. Findhelp.org. All right. That's all I can tell you about that. Now, let's go. Here we go. 100 million in bonds only works if the market crash. Exactly. 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 So I'm trying to figure out who's betting on the market to crash. How can a guy who's leading the country decide to do that maneuver? Unless you're trying to do something on purpose. I'm just saying. Trucker Trey, now you understand. He already understood. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't understand. Exactly. Because when you don't know how business and stock market work, and you really have always done hotel and real estate, hotels and rentals and management is not the stock market. So when you're operating from a level of ignorance that says, oh yeah, I gotta have these bonds and I think the Federal Reserve should reduce their rates, well, it's not based on that. So if you want bonds to go up, then you should be doing the opposite of what you're doing now. You should be trying to make sure the stock market and the economy is functioning around 2.5% inflation and under. So therefore, you would not be running around doing trade deals that are causing havoc and messing up supply chains and doing all this mayhem, because you need stability to actually grow with reckless abandon in America. So again, exactly right, Trucker Trey, which is why this thing that's going on, some people look at a rate reduction by the Federal Reserve as like it matters to them. The Federal Reserve, these corporations, these people on Wall Street, they get to interact, the banks, they get to interact with the Federal Reserve and say, hey, can I borrow money? Backdoor deals, interest only at 4.5 or whatever. That's the only reason it matters to them. But to us on the open market, we care more like bonds. We do care about the rate coming down a little bit, but bond rates dropping rapidly means home prices. It's going to be more debt. We can't have that. ULTY holds strong with 9-cent dividend per share, close to 52-week low. Exactly, EV Place. Exactly. I was like, I'm not. I bet all my stuff, all of it, hit the trigger points. Boom, 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 boom. Because I wasn't at 52-week lows. I was close, but in most cases, I was at least 60, 75, a dollar and 20 above. So I was like, why do I need to lose all that per share? I'll lose some, but I told you guys before, 20%, that's it. There was no reason to drop and let it drop, lose 50% of your profit or 60%. 20% was my max. So when it dropped 30 cents or something, 40 cents, whatever it was, that was 20 cents. Eject button. Keep the profits liquid. Can't get hurt with liquid right now. So therefore, we can buy at even lower prices. So you have put yourself in the Warren Buffett realm. All right. Very, very happy as well, EV Place, with it, but it still drops. So It's crazy what's happened. Trucker Trey, I would buy looking at layoffs and jobless crap that's going and all the other crap that's going on around the country. Exactly. And our government is using all of our disposable money, which is none because we're in deficit. They're using all of that for things that do not create money. When you're capturing people, kidnapping people, that's not making money. And then you're having to use our military, guardsmen, and all that. That's all money going out, creating a deficit. There's no way for us to get that back. This is millions of dollars per day. Per day. This is millions per. You guys understand there's 365 days a month. I mean, a year. And you understand that if it costs 1 million a day for military, and if we have a deficit of $1 trillion annually in interest only, and then you have taxpayers paying $775 to $800 per day for each migrant, USA citizen, anyone in detention, whether it's a little kid or an adult. You have thousands of those people. You do understand it's tens of millions per day. Where's this money going to come from? That means you're going to have to print more money, which means inflation. Tariff wars are now in disarray, which means inflation. This is like a no way out scenario, and layoffs are incoming. It's imminent. There's no way. You have car companies losing billions of dollars. They're going to lay people off. Well, in Detroit, they already have. And these are nice paying jobs, union jobs, livable wage jobs. Bye bye. So these are the things that we have to worry about. But as investors, you can make money off of this mayhem because you can do option trades. So that brings up the XAU, USD, the Gold Rush Auto Trader bot. Friday night has always been, or Thursday night for Friday's market has always been crazy. The first week, 1,030. Was it 1,039? No, 1,030. The second Friday, $847. This Friday, $265. But if you go buy everything, that's over 2 G's just on a Friday in 3 weeks, 3 Fridays, which is actually only 2 weeks though. Because it's only been 2 weeks, but 3 Fridays. All right. But nonetheless, the first Friday, then the 7th day, 8 days later is the second, and now 15 days later. Yep. 3 Fridays. It's only been 2 weeks, but 3 Fridays, $2,000 using the auto trade bot. Now, some of you may not know what I'm referring to. Forex, gold, USD, auto trading bot. So far, so good. Now, I will mention a few things. With anything, you can always make some money, lose some money. All right? Can go either way. Now, this was set it and forget it, just like the other Fridays. But so far, 2,000. So what I should get at is profit is already paid back for the Autobot trading. You got to love it, ladies and gentlemen, right? So first things first, if you want to get into this is first things you need to do. I'll put in the CoinX. Sign up with CoinX. This is just let me see. I'll try downloaded 50, as you guys know, just to see what would happen because they only do Bitcoin. So again, you can put up Tether, USDC, ETH, Bitcoin, Doge. What's the other ones? There was like 6 or 7. Litecoin. Those are the ones you can send up there. All right. Now, downloads same day after the first one. The first one took 24 hours. The second download, which was $50 the first time because I knew it was a tester, see how long it took 2 days. When we had the profit of 500 to send, same day, an hour and a half, it was already in the account. So that works. There's also a promotion right now, 400x for the month of September, that they give you in what I call gambling. I call script. They add 4x. So in other words, as you guys know, deposit of 1,000 is recommended. I'm going to put the CoinX. Do I even have it? I don't think I have it. Maybe I do. Here's where you go. Sign up for CoinX. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. This is just a holding account. This is where you upload, set up your accounts for your trading bot and all that. All right. So anyhow, they have a 400x for the month of September. They even called, said, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "What? What's happening?" They're like, "Yeah, you know about we're going to add 4x into your account because of your first deposit out of courtesy." I'm like, "Really? Okay." So I said, "What do you mean?" So he started describing. I said, "Oh, you're talking about the old gambling script." So in other words, they give you, if you put 1,000 in the account, they're going to add 4,000 in script. Basically, it just allows you to trade maybe a little more, but it's still based on your money. It's just call it this. Your 1,000 is in there, let's say. If you went to zero, that bonus script money's gone. But if you don't, now it acts as if you are trading at the higher level. So hopefully that you guys understand what I'm saying. So if you have any losses or it goes down, let's say it has to go down one of these times, right? So far, so lucky, I guess. But the point is, you could go. I just use the 1,000 basis. That's all I'm going to use. I'm not going to use that script stuff. But your 1,000, if it drops to 500 and you want to stop the bot and you go, okay, 500 is what I'm going to start leaving my account, I guess. Okay, great. You still have the script money, but they're allegedly, supposedly trades more than what you have. It trades like if you have the 4 grand, 5 grand in your account. So we'll see how that goes next week. All right. Because they're going to add that. And remember, that was the wife's account. My account, the usual stuff happened. I tried to upload because I thought I was going to be on Thursday night for tonight so I can report what happened. So we'd have 2 bots. I upload to Coinbase. Coinbase won't let me move money. They have money on hold. Yeah, so I bought in US UCDC USDC, and it's just sitting there. So I'm just looking at it like, okay, so I got it. So no, sorry, you can't move it until midnight Wednesday. Which, okay, fine. Midnight Wednesday of this week coming up. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? They're still doing this in America. All I was sending was 1,020 because I didn't know if there was any breakdowns, where they start taking out their own commissions. So I didn't know. This Coinbase didn't take out any commission, which was wild. But of course, you have to use your bank account. So I transferred 1,020 in there thinking, oh, I'm good. I've had Coinbase for, I don't know, 6-7 years. No, they're still holding it until Wednesday, 11:59 Wednesday, which means 9 p.m. Pacific. And then Thursday night, next Friday, I'll be able to report we'll have 2 bots. So we'll see what happens next Friday night. So it would have been nice, 265 for today. And if the other one would have done about that same number, that would mean 500. I think most people would be happy with even 265 a day if both of them only did 130. I mean, I'm not mad. My goal is basically $200 or $300 every time I run it. So if I run it 10 times during the month, 10 times 200 is 2 G's. 10 times 300 is 3 G's. I'll live with that. Go to bed, wake up. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Did I put it in the chat room? I think I did. Here you go. Just sign up, get ready if you want to join this Autobot. Now, some people would say, Eric, what's going on with the Autobot? Yes. It costs $2,500 for a lifetime. A lifetime bot trading. Gold Rush Autobot. I call it trading. All right. So if you want to do yearly, they have $1,000 as well, but that's a yearly one. So what do you do after that? It's very simple. If you want to think about it, you want to get in on the list, it's a Gold Rush Register .info. All right. And I found out what the problem was, why it doesn't show up as a link, because I didn't realize I needed to put the HTTPS in here. But this is how you go sign up and put in my name as referral, because they have a referral bonus apparently. Referral Eric, ERIC Bird, BYRD. That would be greatly appreciated. You can go there, register, sign up, but you don't have to pay anything at that time because they'll send you some info. All right. There's videos for setup of the bot. It's real simple, quite frankly. I did the whole thing. The whole thing. Relatively simple. The owner of the company gets in touch with people, just so you guys know, or his partners. There's like two guys, and they'll get in touch with you if you have any problems by text. So whether text, I think we're on text, not WhatsApp. Yeah, we're on regular text. And that's simple. And then they'll get in touch with you about what you need to do, and they make it simple. They have a course, not really a course, but how you set up everything. They make it very simple. Also, what I'll do is this. There's a PDF that we had originally on the live stream about a week ago or so. So let me get this PDF. Let me get that. I'm trying to think. I think I gave you guys everything in case you're interested in that. Let me see. Do we have the bot? No, not really. Oh, wait. Here we go. The PDF. Yep. The do's and don'ts. So here you guys go. You can check it out. So that way you'll have a head start, because they repeat this in their videos. They go over it in the course. So if you decide you want to join this Autobot trading, and just so everybody understands, Friday, which is Thursday night, because they do London Stock Exchange, 1 a.m. Eastern to 10 a.m. Eastern in the morning. So some of you would have to stay up late, or you can pre-start it, I guess. But if you're on the West Coast, then it's 10 p.m., 7 p.m. That's when you run the bot, or you can stop it at any time. Like, again, one night it went to $300, because you can tell approximately how much you're going to get. So I stopped it to see what was going to happen, because I was good with $300. I was like, why take a chance? Let's just cash out, because the goal is $200 to $300 anyhow. So that's when I said, let's see what happens. Testing, right? Sure enough, ended up being 300 profit that day. So all total, now I can't remember, but I think if I go, it's first night, 309. Second night of trading, 1,030. Third night of trading, 284. Fourth night of trading, I don't remember if this was the fourth night, because purposely stopped for the week. We didn't do every day like we originally were going to do. So then last night, I might be missing a night, 265. So maybe that's it. Yeah, that may be it. Yeah, let me go check some things. I think that's it. That's starting with 1,000 every night. Always put the profits into another account. So that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure 1,030 plus what was it? 874 plus 309 plus 265. I think this is it. Is that right? I might be missing a day. I'll have to go look at it again because I know from the transfers. But nonetheless, so yeah, this looks like 2478. So I probably did another day that I can't remember off the top of my head. But nonetheless, that's about where we're at because I know there was 5 trading days, right? Okay. All right. So hopefully that helps everybody. Now I'll get back to the situation at hand. That took a minute. All right. Let's go. Okay. ULTY, Trucker Trey, EV Place. Anyway, it was a nice ride with YIELDMAX. 4K profit from a 25K investment in 6 months. Hey, hey, I like that. I like that. That's exactly the attitude. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. So I'll do it for everybody. He made a profit of 4,000. Just keep that in mind. So you put the 4,000 and you divide your profit by your investment, which was 25,000. Oops, I messed up. Hold on. This is how you figure out your profits, ladies and gentlemen, on anything. Does not matter if you buy real estate and you go, oh, I bought the real estate for 300 grand and I'm going to make $25,000. Then you use the $25,000 is your profit. You divide that by 300,000 and then you find out it's less than 10%. That's all I'm saying. Is it really worthy for you to invest in something that only makes like 7.58%? It's up to you. 4,000 divided by 25,000. That's a 16% return in 6 months, ladies and gentlemen, is what he's saying. I think most people would take that in 6 months. And that is a very nice profit in 6 months. That's very nice. So just letting you guys understand, that's how you do it. Don't go down with the ship. Take your profits and run. So now he has 29,000 with potential to make more because he can buy at a lower price. He can invest in other things because there has been a meltdown going on right underneath your feet, as we've discussed before. So he puts himself in great position to buy back in like Warren Buffett, like they do. Also, back to, if I didn't put it in already, the do's and don'ts. Here you go. This is the PDF if you're interested in this Gold Rush auto trading bot. So far, so good. Now, we have other people involved, so I got to give you guys other stuff. I can't be Mr. on the positive all the side. Some people blew up their account, they say. And what that means is they had their 1,000 and it went down to like, well, they cut it off because they saw like 200 and some dollars or something. So they had to re-up and put 1,000 back in. Now, so far, haven't had to worry about this. But I'm going to say this right now I think we're more than 2,500, but let's just keep it around 2,500, which actually pays for the bot. So we're back to even, so to speak. But I still have 1,000 that I'm using, so I don't count that. I count it as a 3,500 investment, quite frankly. I don't count it as 2,500. The bot cost 2,500 because I got the lifetime. If I'd have bought the $1,000 bot and we had the same results, they're not different. It's the same bot. I talked to the owner about it. I said, "This is the same bot for everybody, right?" He's like, "Yeah, there's no deviations." He goes, "Listen to the videos, put all your settings according to that." And I said, "Okay." So far, no problems. Again, with the wipes, it's been operating perfectly fine. So we'll see if what it looks like when there's two in the same house and operating same night, same days, and we'll see the differences. I'm sure there's going to be a variation because it is a bot. Two people can't buy the same thing at the same time in the same numbers, so there's going to be a variations. So again, not everybody. Now, the same people, though, they have profitable days as well. So again, but I just want to let you guys know there are possibilities that it could go down in a day. And you might have to, but it's recommended to have 1,000 in your account, just so you know. I agree with this EV Place. Very good attitude because you're an investor. This is what we're trying to do, right? We're investors out here. We have to know when to get out. We're not supposed to sit there and take L's and go, oh, I wish I could. No, you're supposed to get out. So you keep your profits. That's the name of the game. Keeping your profits. Money management. Uphold has 0 fees on trades under 500. Uh that's interesting, but why have them when I thought everybody was 0 trades. I never even paid attention, man. Are we getting as Weebull and Moo and all these guys? And speaking of, you know what? I should say this. You guys know I kept Moo on the $100 investment so I could keep track. $100 even. It dropped. I did not have a stop loss because it's only $100. It went down to 126. That's right. It was at 136 just a few seemingly days ago. Dropped that amount. But I told you guys before, I keep track 26% for, I think Moo's only been like 4 or 5 months. So I don't have an eject button on that one because that was the tester. And it has pretty much everything. The only difference is I have ARR added to Moo, and I have another one because it's 20%. But it's all based on, it's like on my own ETF, right? There's a number of stocks of each one, like ULTY is in there, ARR, IEP. I can't remember all of them. So that's how I use it. And I even bought only $10 worth of Bitcoins on there too. So that way it's like an ETF I've built in. And so 26% as we speak. And of course, if Bitcoin went up, then something else would happen. But 26% still not bad. It's not down to 100 again. So we're on target for the investments. So it's pretty cool. I just keep that. It's not even like I wanted to use Moo. It's just like I said, let me go check this out. Let me keep my own ETF and see what would happen. Yay, Yell, Dennis, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he says, or she says, hello, family. Hello to you. Thank you so much for being in the house tonight. Now, one other thing. The 199. Here you guys go. If you're interested in the Auto Trader Gold Rush Autobot, that's where you go register. Goldrushregister.info. On the referral, put in Eric Bird, BYRD. They'll have somebody get back in contact with you. Okay, here we go. I loaded up today with SPY and QQQ, bought 200 shares and turned around and sold an option call. Nice passive income. We have to do what we have to do. Exactly, post-retirement travel. Again, this illustrates perfectly what I'm trying to say. You have to know in advance when you make investments, you take into account opportunistic opportunities. You have to look at it that way. You go, okay, if the stock goes up to this price, am I going to sell? You got to have a sell price somewhere, because just keep going up and down? You should be thinking outside the box. What if it, again, Nvidia is the perfect one. Dollar cost average around $90. It goes up to 180, 184, somewhere in there. I told you guys at that point, I said it makes no sense for me to let this drop below 177. 0 cents. And sure enough, it triggered. So now I looked up and it's at 170. I saw it in the 160s this week. I was like, that is wild. But I said, okay, I'm good with the profits. So then I said, okay, if I can buy at 168, 170, 169, okay, that's fine. But I exited at 177. So just keep this in mind. And I love this right here because he loaded up. But then on the other side, he said it's low enough for him to load up. Then he says he does options. I don't do the options. He does options. He does the option call. And now he gets some more passive income because he's thinking, What's going to happen if A happens, then I'm going to do B. And if B also coincides with my A, B, I'm doing C. That's how you have to look at this. You always have a plan, whether things go up or things go down. You have to figure out what you're doing. You're the CEO, ladies and gentlemen. We want you to win. But I love that because I don't know what happened. All I know is it's been a meltdown for a minute. Let me go look at something real quick. Let me go look at something because there's going to be a turnaround in about, well, I think it's going to be before 12 days. But yeah, I'm looking at SPY right now. Yeah, it dropped. Oh, and earlier today, it dropped nicely. Sheesh. So, yeah, that's cool. 644 QQQ, which means it probably mirrors it. Yep, same time. And 580 to 5. Sheesh. Whoa, that dropped even more. You had an opportunity today to do damage. 580 down to 572. Wow. That was another opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. So just keep that in mind. Some of us, well, mine was in the fours. But again, I hit the eject button because I was like, what am I doing? I'm in the fours and I have over hundreds per share. I was like, hold up, man. Let me just get off this. I'll be Warren Buffett for a minute. I think there's going to be some more pain occurring. Some more numbers are going to be coming out next week. And I don't think the numbers are going to be kind. All right. Just keep that in mind. The numbers will not be kind. Mr. Law of Compensation, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And once again, very happy to see you. Peace, family. Peace to you. And while I'm at it, Mr. Law of Compensation has his own channel. So go over there, show some love, click the icon, and you guys know what to do. Subscribe and click the bell below so you get his latest updates. Also, post-retirement travel is going on his Mr. Worldwide Tour. Both of these gentlemen are on Instagram and YouTube. And Mr. Law of Compensation, a.k.a. Mr. Compensation, is on TikTok. Go over there, show your love, and don't miss the videos and the pictures from around the world that post-retirement travel is going to do. And you never know, there might be some investment opportunity around this world. Part of the SSN Nation way. Have property, have business interests outside of the United States, have bank accounts outside the United States. That's what you should do. Even if you don't do anything, just have these things in place just in case. Because remember, there's a lot of things you can't do in the United States where you can't get banking to other countries and things like this, right? And they interfere with you getting your money if they need to send it to you. So outside the country, oftentimes that does not apply. Just saying. All right, let's go. Very nice to see you, Mr. Law of Compensation. All right, post-retirement travel. Good job, Eric. Are you keeping track of the gains or are you expecting some kind of 1099 at the end of the year? Don't forget Uncle Sam expecting 1099, and I got to give money to Uncle Sam. That's it. But don't forget, we always have plans down the line. Don't forget. So I should mention this as well. There's some things like these little chippies. I have other little stuff in my accounts too. So what I do is I say, okay, I'll let this ride because it's a lower amount. So there's things that you can do where I say, okay, I'll sell these because they don't really mean much to me because of all the profit from the other ones. So you know what you have to do. You have to act just like an ETF, a mutual fund, all these guys when they restructure and take losses at the end of the year. Same type of thing. Yes, I do think about all of that, but I'm still going to owe Uncle Sam. Um, Exactly. We owe Uncle Sam, and it's going to be, well, in this case, it's going to be at least 15%. At least, I think, because the year's not even over yet. It's going to be at least 15%. Um, no way around it because we have dividend distributions to boot. Lavelle Israel, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Very happy to see you in the house. Hey, what's up, man? Very happy to see you once again. And we're talking about the discussion of the night, YIELDMAX ETF downgrade. Because if you're not at your 52-week low right now and you had profits and you had dividends coming in, why give all of that away? Because your stock price is much more valuable than the dividends. Sure, you've gotten some nice dividends, but you cannot afford to have, let's just use simple numbers. Let's say you have 100 shares. You bought 100 shares at, let's call it $15. All right. So 1,500. And then over the last 4 or 5 months, you had 100 shares. And let's just use something like, I'll try to make it easy because let's just call it 10 cents a share, right? So it's only $10 per week. So it'll be like a ULTY or YMAG or YMAX, right? Let's just call it $100. So you made $400 per month for the last 5 months. Okay, that's 2 G's, but you have 100 shares at 15. What happens if the 100 shares go to 14, which is what actually is happening right now? So even though you got this extra money from your shares, you just dropped a G. So you're not even doing 10% in that case. So you got to understand. So that's why it would have been better off if the stock price was 15.9, right? So now, why go under 15 after you got the 2000? Why don't you just eject? Why don't you go, okay, if it gets down to 1530, 1550, I'll keep that and the 2 G's. Why go down with the ship, ladies and gentlemen? It's that simple. Robinhood and Moomoo are different than central exchanges. Always check fees before transaction. This is true. This is very true. Thank you for that heads up, EV Place. Okay, Eric. What are you doing with the gains? They're sitting. You should transfer some of that into a platform like Robinhood and buy some securities. This will keep your portfolio well balanced. Yeah, that's where I'm at, actually. I'm in Robinhood too. But yeah, I do all of that, like you say. And I'm about to rebalance right now because what I'm going to do is I'm probably not going to be going into the high. Well, okay, hold on. Here's where I am going: real estate investment trusts that are presently at 20%. I'm buying more. That's what I'm doing. Exactly what's happening is exactly what we want. The bond has gone down to 4.08. I expect it to drop to 3.9. And that means mortgage rates are going to drop a whole point and a half. Refinances will start happening. Real estate investment trust can go to the Fed and say, hey, I want my interest only loans for 3.5 or 3.9. They're going to do it. So they're going to be able to make more profit. So we're talking about ORC. PSEC is taking a hit. I need them to come right because I have a lot of shares with them. ORC as well. AGNC, ARR. All these guys are around 19 to 21% on your money. And they're getting a bailout, so to speak, because the bond rate went down to 4.0. So now they're going to start refining. And that means more profit. That means their stock price will start elevating a little bit as well, is the way I see it. We'll see if I'm right, but that's the way I see it. So if you're holding real estate investment trusts, and they're doing 20%, roughly thereabouts, that will be a hold for another year to 2 years. 20% on your money is heavy. That's nice. And they pay out every month. So, uh, also, JEPQ, even with the mayhem, is still at $55. Again, my dollar cost average is 49. That's not something I'm selling. And we're getting 11, well, I'm getting, I think, 11.9 or 12% is what I'm getting. But yes, we are going to keep it like I'm acting just like what an ETF manager would do. I'm just getting rid of anything that triggered, because again, I keep profit, so I just trigger. If it triggers it, okay, I'm out. Good, no problem. Okay, EV Play says OpenAI chose Broadcom chips over Nvidia. I know it might drop to 150 per share, exactly, because Broadcom is coming out smoking, and they had good numbers. Their stock price improved, but you guys should have maybe think about having some of those. Post-retirement travel, AVGO is what their stock symbol is. You might want to have a little bit of that anyhow, along with AMD, NVIDIA, of course. Might want to have that. The option calls I did was QQQ and SPY. I love it. I'm selling them 1K above current price. The two contracts are good for a week. I received 700 in premium. Not bad for a 3-minute move. Man, I wish I knew how to do this. Man, that is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we have Trucker Trey. We have a few other people, EV Place, that may know how to do this. I don't know how to do options. I wish I did. I'm selling the 1K above current price. Are you kidding me? The two contracts are good for a week. You receive 700 in premium. That is crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I gotta learn this. I guess I better start going for the wheel, but right now I can't. I'm still dealing with this XAU USD, even though it's on an auto trade platform. I don't have to do anything. Press a button on, well, kind of a little more than that, but on auto trading and go to sleep. Again, with any investments of this nature, whether it's option trading, whether it's this auto bot trading, you have to put in the money you can afford to lose, but it's recommended you start with $1,000. Just so you guys understand. They're not saying put 5,000 in your account and do the auto trading. They're not saying 3, they're just going to 1,000. So one of those reasons I love it. So we've already broken even. And again, I don't count even because my 1,000 is still in play. 2,500 was in play first, now 1,000. And we'll see. Now I'm starting over. Now I'm going to have 3,500 in play. So we'll see when my bot gets online next week. I'm hoping to get it sooner because I can't do it because I wanted to do it Sunday night, which is the other recommended night for Monday. So I won't be able to do that. So I guess I'll just wait till next Thursday, and then that's when the report will come for two bots running at the same time. And hopefully they're winners for Friday, where I can report positive news, where I could say whatever 245, 265, 305. I don't really care. If it's around there, I'm happy. If it's 800, 700, 1,000, that would be awesome. 2Gs in the same house, that would be beautiful. All right, so we'll see how this all shakes out. But I like all of this. This is interesting right here. When am I getting a video post-retirement travel? All right, here we go. Assets on sale. You cannot sit by, ladies and gentlemen. You have to start thinking what's going to move. So, like I just gave my opinion about real estate investment trust. So, in fact, let me go look at something because I don't know what their numbers are as we speak because I pretty much my dollar cost average is below whatever these guys have. So, ORC right now is at 20% at $7.19. Just so you guys understand, I'm not BSing about this. This is crazy. PSEC, which has took a hit on their stock price. My dollar cost average is low, but it is not $2.89. This is one thing that I did not trigger out of because I knew the Federal Reserve is going to reduce their rate. I knew the mayhem, the bond market was going to catch up sooner or later, and now it has. And I know that's going to cause a bunch of things that's going to happen, and it's going to be good for these guys. So again, at the $2.89 price, they're at 18.69% for their dividend. AG&C actually went up today, 1.67%. What's happening? Why can't I go there? AG&C is $10.37. Their dividend yield is down to 13.89%. Not down, but that's what it is. Let me go get ARR. I think they're at 21. Let's see. Let's go look this up real quick. See, these are the ones. ARR, $15.82. They're at 18.2% as well. So again, it looks like ORCs. I thought these were over 20. So it looks like my Moo, Robinhood, and all these guys are giving me the wrong dividend numbers. But anyhow, 18% is still good. Where else are you going to get 18% return on your money off of a stock market investment? Let's go look at Dynex, which is something we've discussed. DX, simply D as in David X, that's 15.79%. Shimura, IVR is interesting as well. Shimura is at 10%, which we don't talk about, but it was there. Let's go see what IVR is going to be doing. I'm still holding IVR, by the way. Again, not giving those up. Their mortgage capital, 17% is IVR. So just giving you a few, there's some here. Let me go look at something else, which I don't have. I'm going to go check out NLY also. Yeah, they're at 12%, 12.68. Arbor, forgot about them. Aren't they ABR? I think so. Let's go see. ABR, yep. Dividend not worthy at this point, 9.86. But they're in the green. So you can't be mad. So you have opportunities out there. And again, I have my own opinions about what's going to happen. So I'm all in for the REITs that are at 18% and up. And their stock prices are low. So now appreciation plus getting 18%. And once it appreciates, you don't get 18%. And in case anybody's here that doesn't understand what I'm referring to, it's very simple. If the stock price is, I always use 100 because that's $10. We'll go $10. And in order to get 20%, it's what, $2? Dividends for the year. So you divide, remember, you go $2 divided by 10. All right, $10. You'll have 20%. So if the stock price goes to 15 and you still get the same 10%, now you're only getting, here, I'll even do it because I don't know what the number is. But the point is, you're going to get a lower return on your investment. All right. So $2, what is it? $2 divided by 15. See, it's now 13.3% when you buy at the $15 price. So that's what I mean. You have to take opportunity when I call it blood in the streets. All right. So that's one way you can look at it. You can take my opinion about it and think about it or not. Just do what you normally would do. But if you believe something's going to happen in the stock market or in real estate market or with bond markets and you have a maneuver, a way to make money from it, then if you believe it, do it, is what I'm trying to say. Because just because I may be successful for what I do, maybe there's a nuance that I'm missing. You might be successful at what you're doing, just like EV Place came out and did what Post Retirement Travel says what he was doing. He just sold a premium for $700 in a matter of a few minutes. So again, he's making money on the little nuances that most people or some people may not think about. So that's pretty cool. Biznessa is here. Seamless Genius is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. And she brings her tagline this evening. Hey, Boston SSN fam, hello. Happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday it is. The salsa dance is still in effect. Selling stocks and reinvesting and making new moves is in effect. Keeping profit is in effect. And since you just showed up, the YIELDMAX ETF downgrade has occurred because I hit the eject button because I always like to keep profit. I don't stock share prices start going down below or even gets within a 20 to 25%, 50% of what I bought it at, eject button. I already have stop loss on it, so it ejects automatically. I'm keeping the stock appreciation plus all the dividends I received. But the Autobot trader for the Friday report, $265 from Thursday night for this Friday. All right. That's the latest. So all total, we're over 20. Well, I guess we're a little under, but 2,400, I think. It's 2,500. We're 2,470 something, which is what the Autobot lifetime cost. If I would have had the 1,000, I guess we would be ahead by a large margin at this point, 1,500, which would be great. But hey, it's an Autobot, Gold Rush auto trading bot. So we got back the price of the bot. Now the $1,000 outlay that we would have to put in our account for the trades, now we need the extra 1,000. So we're going to see what happens on Monday. Maybe Monday will be a better day or a same day. I don't really mind. If every trade day average, like I told you, 200 to 300, I'd be happy. But sooner or later, we got to have an L someday. Someday that 1,000 could be in jeopardy, where it goes from 1,000 and only is 200 or 300 when you wake up. You just never know. But there you go. All right. Oh, there you go. How's your trading going, boss? Still going good. Exactly. How's your trading? Yes. Yeah, I didn't look up. You know what? I should go look it up. Whoa, nice. So you're well over 3K. I could be because I'm missing a day. I can't really remember. It was 309, 1,030, 287. I know I got to be missing a day. There has to be 5 days. And then today was 265. Oh, 300. Yep. I might have been missing a day. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. There was another day which was 300. So hold on. Let me go look this up. 1,030 plus 309, because I added it up before, plus 287 something, plus 300, plus 265, and I missed the 874. Thank you for mentioning that. That just triggered. Yes, you're right. 3,065 ish, somewhere in there. So that's the number. I was missing a day. I knew I was missing a day. So 3,065 is what it was. Yeah. So is that right? Yeah. Okay. Well, anyhow, it's somewhere around there. I'll have an update on Monday when I look in the account. But if we're at 3Gs, then that's good. But we're back. We got the bot for 2,500. Okay. And then 1,000 of our money you have to use in the bot itself for the trading. So when really it's 3,500. So we're pretty close. Okay. Thank you. Oh, there we go. All right. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. All right. She's got it exactly right because she has the exact numbers. I can't remember. 2,770 plus 265. 3,035. Okay. That's about where we were. So, yes, that is correct. Yeah, I did 3,065, but yeah, 3035. That's it. That's it exactly. So thank you so much for the tracking. Right on. I wrote it down. Thank you so much. That's it. Um that's great. So it's 3,035, 3,065, somewhere in there, 335. I'll take her word for it because I know I can't remember exactly. I have to go look. But that's a good news, right? Is that 5 trading sessions? I mean, that's pretty good. I didn't do every day. I listened to what the guy said after I read for the new bot. They go, "Oh, the best days are Friday and Monday." Well, the two previous Fridays was 1,030, 874, I think. And then this Friday was 265. So just on those 3 days alone is two G's, which means it's two-thirds of the profit is just from those 2 days. The Monday did two, what was it? The Monday, was it the Monday that was the 300? But either way, the rest of the other trades gives us an extra like 1,000. So it's fine. I don't really mind. It's gravy. Once I have I'll do mine, and I'm probably going to deviate. I'm probably not even going to go on there. Monday and Friday are the best trading days. I'm going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to try and get an L day. We'll see how successful I'm going to be, right? I'm going to try. It's going to be interesting. Okay. I'm going to get in next week. Business in the house is going to come up to the option trading. Yeah, you're on the West Coast. It makes it so much easier because you can start your bot at 10 p.m. at night, and then you wake up at 7 in the morning. You can shut it off if you don't want to look at it. I mean, like I said, I I I don't know. I look at it in like the first 10 minutes to 15 minutes, and I see what happens because of the one night it jumped to 300 over. I mean, it could have went more, but I was like, why don't I just take out? It was 305, 310, 325, back to 295, stuff like that on this equity. And I was like, okay, my goal is really 300 anyhow. So why am I sitting here going to let it roll all night? Yeah, sure, I can get $1,000, but I do know I have my goal of 300. So let's just collect now and go to sleep. And that's what I did because my goal is 300. And yeah, there's people making like we had 1,030 day. That's the highest ever. 874 is the next highest. Then all the rest are like all night 309, 265, um, two whatever, 74, 84, whatever it is. But the one time I took 300 straight up because I didn't know what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be 305, 310, whatever, but it ended up being 300. So who knows? But I was good as long as we're in that area, that ballpark. I'm good because the way I look at it is if I can do that 3 or 4 times a week, that means you're doing pretty good. You're doing 1,000 a week. And if we have an anomaly like the two we had, where it's 800 and something and 1,000, and that happens to be one day, I'll be good with that. So either way, it's money management. Like I said, I'm not going to be greedy in this case. I have no control. I'm going to get in next week. That is great. Nice, boss. Good job. Thank you. And so now what's very interesting is like I told you guys all along, it's about exponentials. So notice 3 grand means $2,500 for another bot on the house, so to speak. Two bots. And now we'll see if we can double that. I'll be happy with 3 grand for the month, right? So if we double that, that's 6 grand. If that happens, it could be more because haven't even been in a month yet, which is, I didn't even really think about it. We've only been in like 2 weeks for the first bot. So that's great. Haven't even, next Friday is going to be a month. So it could be it could end up being 4,000 for the month, which is game changing, quite frankly. 2,000 or 1,000 a month is game changing for a lot of people. So I can't I can't be mad. I can't be mad at all. Yes, use their money to make money. Exactly. Exponentials. We got to do it. So, it's going to be a beautiful thing. So we'll see what happens. So right now, if I count the 2,500 plus 1,000, that's 3,500. That's how I count it, I guess. Um, After this next one, it's 7 G's in using their money to buy the second one. So, um, I mean, all I can do is laugh because it's kind of funny. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't think like how I think about this, but I'm like, don't even let all of a sudden two of them, and we have a day such as just call it $500 to $700 days for two, so it's 1,000 to 1,400, and don't let where 3 days go by and there's another 3,500 between the two, because you guys don't understand. I will have another one. And every night I'll probably be going click, click, click on three different computers. I think, well, maybe, hold on. I don't even know. Maybe, no, I can only have one. I got to check, but I might have to have three computers because the license is only good on one computer. Or I shouldn't say one computer. The license is only good for the one app. So when you get another license, it's only going to be good for that one. So I should be able to run it on the same computer. So that would be even more awesome if I can open stuff up like a poker table on online and be like on and on, and then sit there for the first 15 to 20 minutes and see if there's something that goes to 300 or higher, and then close out, go to bed for that one, lock that in. And if two or three of them happens, that would be incredible, right? $900 in less than 20 minutes. It's only happened one time. The other times they goes down. In fact, one time it went to 600 and then it went in the fives. And then I just was like, just go to sleep. Maybe this will be the night it goes to zero. It's a test. Let's see what happens. It didn't go to zero, but there was profit again. So we'll see what happens. It's very, very interesting. All right. Here we go. You'll be like NASA. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. And don't and you guys don't understand. This is how things get out of hand for me, just by accidents. By finding this out. This is why things get interesting, because if you have three and all of a sudden you have, I don't know if all three would win. That's the thing, right? You're having a little more ways you can lose, but at the same time, can you imagine having four and then they just make like, I don't even know if there was such a thing as an average, and they all did like 300 average, and you're like $1,200 every time you run all four. That would be interesting, because now you're talking about 3 days a week is pretty close to 30. It's 3,600. And that's, anybody can live on 3,600 a week. That's not hard. All right. That's 7 G's, 14 G's a month. I don't think that's a problem. So, anyhow, that's my goal. That's how I operate. I'll take my profits and reinvest, take my profits, reinvest. This is why I told you guys before about real estate. If you get real estate, you take your profits, you use your profits, or you use your asset, meaning HELOCs or loans, and you go buy another asset that gives you money. Be like the big boys. And that asset has to earn more than enough to pay your loan, right? You have all kind of opportunities, but the thing is, you need assets first, and you need performing assets. So once they perform, you can expand and keep going. I was talking with this young kid just this past week, and he's 26 years old, and he's in the trucking business, and he has like this profit left over. And I said, the best thing that I can tell you and any young person is, your first move, since you don't own a house, you should be looking at FHA loan to get your duplex, triplex, or fourplex. that gives you a return on your money instead of buying a house. Why go buy a house? Because that's what he says. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I'll be able to save enough to do enough to buy a house." I said, "Why do that? Have real estate first, or business or something first that makes money while you're out driving. And then you use that profit to go buy a house." That's my recommendation to everybody that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. The earlier you can get passive income, it makes your life a lot easier. The sooner you can do that, the makes and the easiest way is a loan from a real estate project. Fourplex. First move. That's what you do. First move, don't buy a house. I mean, my daughter right now keeps going on and on about her and her boyfriend wants to get a house. And I'm just like, what are you doing? You know that's not the rules. That's not the rules. You know the rules. You get your assets early, because then that opens up a lot of different doors, because now you have time. You could say you have opportunities to be in your 20s and be like, nah, I don't want to take that job. I don't have to. I'm worth more than that, because I'm already taken care of on one front, because you have money coming in to pay for where you live. That changes your whole game. And you have some things your whole life where you have money coming in, and you can borrow against that occasionally if you needed to. So these are the things that we got to talk about. And so here we are again by accident, because the wife is the one that said, "Hey, you know about this Gold Rush Autobots?" Da, da, da. I was like, "What? Oh, whoa, hold on a second. Let's check this." This is how it goes. And the next thing I know, I'm like, "Oh, if this works, I'm gonna have a, I'm gonna have at least 5 of these things within the next 3 weeks, and we're gonna go for some stuff." Like I said, I shut me off at 300-400. I wish they had auto shut offs. I'll take the 1,500 a day. No problem. No problem. All right. So anyhow, assets. That's it. Assets that make money. Exactly. That's the only way to go. My ex found a piece of property at the river in Florida, has 20 plus RVs on it for sale. What? Wait, is he using it as a rental? At the river. I like this. Geesh, but you know, rivers in Florida. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Thank you, Mrs. Bird. That's it exactly. That's it exactly. Because first of all, she knew I this option trading stuff. She's like, okay, he knows about stocks and all that, but he doesn't talk about this. And I said, no, I don't do options. I don't do bots. I don't know nothing about it. No. Okay. Well, already in. Okay, cool. Let's roll. Let's see what happens. Science fair is in progress. So even though I didn't take like 3 weeks, 4 weeks like I normally would, I was just like, then I was like, well, after those nice little hits, I was like, wait a minute. If we would have had 2 of them, are you saying we possibly could have, instead of having 3,000 profit, we could have had another 3,000 profit potentially? That starts adding up pretty fast. 6 G's in 2 weeks. That would have been interesting too. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pull the trigger. Let's see what happens. But like I said, I'll start next Thursday night. I think I'll be able to start sooner, but I'm not. I'm going to wait till Thursday night, per their recommendation, and see what happens on that Friday night. So far, every Friday's been positive for us. We'll see what happens when we run the second one. Hopefully, both of them are positive, and I don't report an L my first night. So it'll be interesting. I don't know about options either, so I'm going to go for it. Exactly. We don't have to do anything in this case. It's like you just, once you set it up, you run it, and either you can sit there and you can stop it to keep profits, or you can just let it run all night and wake up in the morning. I mean, or I guess you can be up all night and watch it, because the first few nights, obviously a little curious, understanding what's going on. I was, it started at 10 but didn't go to bed till 1, so then I go and look and see, like, huh, okay, all right, it's $100 $200 more, all right, fine. then go sleep. Then you wake up a little early. It's 6 in the morning or something, and it's like, well, it shows like 800, 900, and then you're like, all right, whatever. 7 o'clock rolls around to shut down. It's like, oh, it's $300. Cool. That kind of thing. Then I was like, let me just go to sleep. Forget about it. And this is an experiment. But like I said, all right. So story night. I was just thinking about, we were talking about our relatives, and we were talking about, I told you guys before, VIP gambling and things like that. And one time I was in Reno, Nevada, and one of my places was basically on the strip, whether it was Harrah's, whether it was El Dorado, whether it was whatever. And most of the time I stayed at Harrah's because they have everything. And so now I'm staying at Harrah's, but these guys at Harrah's are telling me, hey, you need to go over to this little casino that's like 2 blocks over. And it's actually like a hotel. And they're giving away like free script money, kind of like what CoinEx is going to be doing, right? In the month of September. By the way, if anybody's doing any option trading and they want to use CoinEx, which is basically holding money, that's where you transfer your money to load up your account, is CoinEx. Use this link. Everybody who signs up with CoinEx actually has, I don't have it, actually has the same thing. You can always have a referral code for them as well. So here's mine. So anyhow, yeah, script money, exactly. Um, I call it that because that's what they used to call it, the casinos. So you used to go to a casino, and this is how it all came up with our discussion. I said, yeah, the first time you wouldn't believe, I go to this other casino because they're giving out um like $500 of script money. And basically what it was like is, let's just say I have $100. They would give me $100 or $500 of wooden chips, right? Not casino chips because it's script. It's so that money that you bet is for each play. So I could have bet the whole 500. Whether I win, I get back 500 actual casino chips. But if I lose, they just take all of it, right? So, but in this case, let's just say, like I normally would have done, I would have paid, let's say, blackjack, $25. So I'm betting 25, but then I use their 25 chip too. So now it's $50. If I win, then I get back $50. If I lose, they take the $25 chip. So now CoinEx in the month of September, whatever you deposit, they're doing 400%. And it's similar to that because they called me on the phone and I told the guy, "Are you talking about like casino stuff where it's like a script, is what I call it, where so in other words, the money I'm gonna be running, and because you can do options by yourself, right? So literally they're giving you money so you can do more and make more. But since I'm doing the Autobot thing, it doesn't really do me any good, I don't think, because it's still going to be based on my $1,000. So if you lose and you went to zero on your $1,000 portion, you lose all of your script money. So you have to have money in your account. You can't go to zero. So they give you whatever the four. So if you put in 1,000, they said to give you 4,000. 400%. So that means it's going to be 5,000. And unfortunately, if I wish I knew about option trading, because that means that's script money. I could be doing option trades of $1,000 with other people's money. What are we talking about right now? I mean, that's what we're looking at, kind of thing, or something similar to that. But anyhow, this casino has 500K or whatever, $500 of script money if you go and play over there because they're new. And it was like this condo, it was like a condo hotel with a casino underneath, kind of thing. It was pretty cool. So I'm walking around in this place, and I'm over there, and the place looks kind of cool, but it's small as hell. It's like a casino downstairs, and it's a small area, and the place looks plush. It looks nice. And I'm walking down, and I'm like, that looks like my aunt down there. What the heck? I get a little closer. All of a sudden, I see my uncle. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't even know my aunt and uncle even gambled. So now I see them, and I'm like, "Oh, what's going on? What are you guys doing here?" And they're telling me the same thing. What's going on, nephew? What are you doing here? I'm like, what do you mean? I gamble. What are you talking? They're like, we gamble too. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. We've been to functions, we sit around tables. You never even talked about gambling at all. Come to find out, my aunt plays like these little five, at the time, dime slot machines. She'd be in this cheapy section playing slots, right? Because that's all she did. And my uncle, come to find out, he plays cards. He's like playing in the poker room. He's like gambling with cards, 21 and all this stuff. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And so then they start going, well, we hang out at this place. We do gambling at some Indian casino. And they gave us free nights and some script stuff and all this stuff, right? We have the free buffet and all this stuff, right? The usual VIP stuff. So they start talking about, well, yeah, we're like VIP over here. I'm like, what? What's going on? So then I go, well, that's very interesting. I guess it runs in the family. They're like, what? Because you got to remember, I'm only in like 25 or something. They're like, wait a minute, what do you mean you're a VIP? Where? I said, oh, they're here. I mean, up there at Harris is where I'm staying right now. They're like, what? I said, yeah, why are you guys staying here? They're like, because they gave us a free room and stuff like that. But it's just like it's a condo, basically, a small little condo. So I said, oh, no, I can't have my family staying over here. When you can have nicer accommodations and better, because they have shows at Harris. They don't have shows at this place. And I was like, you can see the stars that you guys know when you go to Vegas, and they would have the stars on the strip, right? Same thing in Reno at the time. So I tell them, no, 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 you got to come over to Harris with me, and we're going to go down to VIP, and I'm going to get you guys hooked up with VIP too. So we go down to VIP, and they go and give them their information. And so then I said, forget that. You guys are going to be VIP. Just come with me. Come check out my room. They come up to my room, and it's like, oh my God, what is this? I said, yeah, I like staying in the junior suite at Harris. I said, it's nice and cozy. Um, I like the way the layout is, the bar's over there, and everything's on the house in here. And they're like, this thing's like 800 square feet or something. I said, I know, it's nice. It's chilled, right? Sunken living room and everything in a casino. It's like it was a house pretty much. And so they go, oh, this is different. I said, yeah, and we're going to go eat at the steakhouse. Now, the steakhouse at the time was one of the top ones. So it costs, it was Ruth Chris type pricing, $100 for a steak, $75 or whatever the hell. So I take them up there. We come back downstairs, and they're just like, oh, yeah, yeah, you guys can be a VIP just like your nephew. I was like, all right. So you guys are in too. So every now and then I would run into them at the casinos from that time on, because I didn't know they came up at all. And so we had a family reunion up there. And that's when my cousins came up. And that's when I had a meeting in my room, because our family reunions, we used to have a day where we talk business. And so my family's in the military, and then they have jobs, teachers, uh, academics after retirement, things like that. And so they weren't like investors like how I am. They're investors in the stock market. They would have shares of stock, right, that they've been holding for 30 years or something. So that, they're doing fine. But the point is, what I was doing, real estate, exponentials, and all this stuff, I have my cousins, and we go to my suite, and they're in my suite, and they're just like, you staying here? And I was like, yeah, I'm staying here. And they're like, is this for real? I was like, yeah. So 6 or 7 of my cousins are with me, and we had our meeting about business. I start talking to them about FHA, just what we talk about here. I started talking about assumable loans with your credit scores being like 725, 750 and up. I started telling them, yeah, you can get this property. And I started talking to them about all this stuff. And they're just like looking at me like, what the heck? You're doing all of this? Now you got to remember, my cousins are 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And they're sitting there like, you can do all this? You're doing all this? I said, yeah. And in fact, I invited my property manager to come down so you guys can see he collects the money. He can send the money to the mortgage companies for you. And then he can send you whatever's left over so you know everything's paid on time and everything. They're just like, is it? You're doing, they were in shock. They were just like, I didn't even know you could do this. I was like, to me, it was normal. To them, it was like, we don't know what the hell this guy's. They were like, we don't know what you're talking about, man. It was wild. So that is what the story is tonight. I got tons of them, like I told you before. I just can't remember all of them because I've been having fun out here. Okay. So CoinX is doing that. No, CoinX is the holder. That's where you upload your money. So when you go to CoinX, what ends up happening is you open up an account. You'll open up a demo account and a live account because with the Gold Rush auto trading bot, they have a demo and you can test it. You know, you can do the demo version. You don't have to go live. So you can test it so you understand how it functions and operates. And I suggest you do that a few days. At least if not for, at least 10 to 20, 30 minutes, because you'll need to test because you won't understand exactly. Because like me, I've never done trading. So I didn't know about the how you can load things up and do the scripts and do all this, right? So CoinX is nothing more than Cash App, PayPal. It's just holding your money. So you go there, you get a live account, which gives you an account number. You get a demo account, which gives you an account number. You can load your money into there, but it's only through crypto. And again, the crypto is Litecoin, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Tether, USDC, and I said Bitcoin already. That's all I can remember. Those right now. There may be one or two that I missed. And so, no fee for you, but there's going to be a fee whoever you use to send. But anyhow, that's what CoinX is. So that's where you load your money, and that money is tied to your Autobot because you have to put in the account numbers. And so for your live account, when you load up 1,000 or whatever you put in, then that's what's sitting in your account when you open up the software, the Autobot software. And so that's what it's tied to it because they give you a video and they go step by step on what to do. They send you the software after you register. You get an email. They send you all of the software you need to load, the inputs, the everything. You do it yourself. And then he's on the text message that you can actually text him and he'll help you out if you have some, questions or any problems. But the videos they've already made in the background, they already have it so you can watch them. You can stop like I did. I stopped it a few times and went back because I was like, where's that at? Because the way he words some of the things, because he's done it, he words it such as a matter of fact, like, oh yeah, this you do the auto Gold Rush, Auto Trader, and put it into the software. Okay, but the Gold Rush Auto Trader says live and demo. He doesn't say which one. So I had to hit up the owner and say, hey man, I don't know what one this is. Then I figured out, oh, wait, demo is demo, live is live. And so that's when I kind of figured it out after the fact. But in real time, I was off because he didn't say live or demo, but you have a live or demo to load. So I didn't know which one he was talking about. So anyhow, it's just little stuff like that. It's very easy. It's not that hard. All right. Not that hard at all. All right, option trading has changed our lives. We use that income to travel. Keep in mind, I'm very conservative. If you're aggressive, you can make a lot more money. I only trade SPY, QQQ, or IWM. Nice. Well, that's cool. Yeah. I've, like I said, every time in fact, I started going online and I looked again where somebody goes, I'm trading live. I'm like, I still see the guy trading live, but the thing is, he starts going, I got a tip or whatever here, and it went here, and then he put this one, at least this one guy that I recently saw, he put in where he had his stop loss at the, I, he apparently entered into a trade. Then it started moving up. So then he put his stop loss for where he entered the trade, or maybe even a little bit higher to reach. I don't really know how it worked, but he moved it up. So he was automatically, worst case scenario, in the profit. So if it went higher, he can then keep moving it up. So then if it drops below, it automatically triggers the sale. So I was like, oh, okay, I see it's something. I get it a little bit. That's a little better because I actually see somebody who's done something. This is the first person. Everybody else would always talk and say they did something and come to find out they have a keyboard set up. So I would be like, I don't know what he's saying. What's he looking at? I don't see anything on the screen. Well, this guy had his stuff on the screen. So it showed his stop loss after the whatever. I can't remember what he was using. I think it was some currency. But that's what he was trading, some currency. And so it went up. He said, I'm going to put the stop loss. It came on the screen. It showed he put the stop loss here. I was like, oh, he moved it up. That's perfect. Now I get that part, but I still don't get the money part. So when he said I got 700 in premium for holding it for a few minutes, see, I don't know what that really means. So anyhow, that's it. But CoinX, again, sign up with that, please, if you decide that you want to get into this Gold Rush Auto Trading Bot, because so far it's been $3,035 on 6 days of trading, because 2 days were awesome. 1,030 and 840, 874 were the top 2 days. So on a Friday, Thursday night, which is Friday for the London Stock Exchange. Those are the top 2 days. If you take those days out and they're normal like the others, that'd be 300. So again, 600, 1,200 more. So it'd be 1,200 less. But it's not. So luckily, we're good. But the point is, that's how we do it. CoinX, that's what we use to load. It's just a holding. It's just like Coinbase, just like uh, anything else. You load, buy crypto there. In this case, you're not buying crypto. You're just putting your money there so it can be on your trading platform, on the software. So it's pretty easy. And again, customer service, any questions, they have it where you can contact, in my case, or in everybody's case, I think the owner of the company has you on the text string. They have a little group somewhere as well that you can sign up with. You get 30 days free when you register with your Autobot. So again, that's pretty, I mean, it's pretty cool. All right, I'm not going to be on here too much longer, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, if there's anything else you want to discuss, please let me know now. And just make sure you pay attention to your investments over the next 2 weeks, because the Federal Reserve, there's a lot of things that's going to happen over the next 2 weeks, especially when the government, the judges have went the constitutional route where the House of Representatives are really the only ones that can do um, tariffs. And all of a sudden, they started repealing some of these tariffs. And now you have to pay back this tariffs to who? It's already been collected by the corporations, already had to pay the tariff. So now they're talking about $200 billion going back to the companies. U.S. companies, by the way. Some U.S. companies were talking about they have to go out of business because of the tariffs. Imagine that, them getting that money back. That would be awesome for businesses, mom and pop businesses, right? Imagine if what was the car companies? that had to pay $1 billion in tariffs. Imagine they get that back. That would be awesome from a capitalist standpoint, because I'm a capitalist. I'm not a freaking communist. All right. So people need to understand communism is where governments control other businesses. And by taking tariffs, a taxation on businesses on heavy tolls of 100%, 50%, and giving it to the government, that means the government has a control on your profits. That's not a good thing. So I'm going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to go into anything else for story night, but see you guys on Monday night. And on Monday night, we'll have another session. So we'll see how it goes. All right. It's going to be very, very cool. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens on Monday. And hopefully I'll see you. Be safe. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And you guys know I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support. But how could I forget? We just got monetized again. That's right. We got remonetized. That means we have memberships. That means everything is now starting all over, just like we're a new channel, so to speak. So go out there, show some love. Make sure you share the videos, but then more importantly, make sure you stay safe out here, because we have mayhem going on in the streets. And make sure you be safe. You never know what somebody else is going through. You never understand if somebody's thinking differently. So just try to, be safe as you can with you and your loved ones, and keep a level head. A lot of people are under pressure. So no matter what happens out here this weekend, make sure you stay safe, your family stays safe, and keep the loved ones safe. And above all, regardless, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out. Wrong one.